Hello, welcome back to the channel. I am Alex, the Bacano insurance journalist, and I am super excited to go ahead and save you some money on car insurance, health insurance, life insurance. Today, I want to talk to you about a topic that has crossed my mind recently, which is Sprout Life Insurance. Let's go. Life insurance is one of those things that is highly recommended that you take out, because if you have children, you have someone that you love, you want to make sure that you leave them money. You want to make sure that they have an inheritance to be able to continue on. If you have a business, you want to make sure that your business has enough funds to continue its existence beyond your passing. Additionally, too, life insurance can be used to borrow against. I wouldn't recommend it, but there's a way to do that in which you can use the promise of your future life insurance in order to borrow in the present moment. So obviously, life insurance has a lot of uses. But the dilemma that we're facing is that life insurance has been traditionally very difficult to sort of get into, because when we're dealing with life insurance, we have to deal with shady businessmen. We have to deal with people that we're not necessarily comfortable inviting them into our home, having them explain things to us, having them walk us through us, sort of this process. And additionally too, there's private information that is being dealt with. This is kind of a little bit disconcerting. If we go through our employer, then the limits oftentimes provided to us under term life insurance are very small, or they end the moment we go from employer to employer. And sometimes the life insurance we receive from the employer isn't necessarily the amount that we had envisioned. So one way to solve this problem is to sort of look at the situation and say, how can we get life insurance? Thankfully for us, there are companies that are leading the way in making life insurance a little bit more easy to get into. We're talking about Lemonade, we're talking about Ladder. But in today's episode, the primary focus, the only one of our attention is gonna be Sprout. Now, Sprout, as far as life insurance goes, is not that really radical of an approach. When it first started, we started thinking to ourselves, hey, this could be something different. But in reality, it's just another virtual broker. Let's take a look at what are some of these terms. When we're talking about a broker, we're talking about someone who arranges the policy and gets it out to the person who needs it. They're kind of the intermediary, in between person, the middleman between the carrier and the final client. Additionally, we have the carrier that's providing the policy. So in order for us to understand Sprout, we have to understand that relationship. Sprout isn't giving you life insurance. Sprout is arranging for you to get life insurance. That's a very important distinction. So what's Sprout's target market? Sprout's target market is going to be people that are fit, that are very sort of conventional, very traditional, not very exotic, in the sense that they're looking for people that are between usually 25 to 45, that are married, that have stable incomes, that have healthy lifestyles, the easy folks to insure. We're not talking about people here that have a high or higher than likelihood chance or probability of dying or being severely injured. So that's why they're insuring that group. And in the process of doing that, we get to the situation where we get into the trademark, sort of not really a trademark, but one of the major selling points, that they do not require usually a medical exam. That's both a good and a bad. Let's talk about that for a second. So the process begins when you go to Sprout. You go to their website, they have a phenomenal user interface. The user interface on Sprout is some of the best I've seen, not just in insurance, but across the board. Just really smooth, seamless, pretty straightforward, easy enough to enter information, interact with. That's our first stage. That is what I like to refer as qualifying. So when you go in there, you put in your information, Sprout is beginning to qualify. He's beginning to say, hey, listen, are you healthy? Are you of the age that we like? Do you have certain things that we should know about? By them asking those questions, they can then align you with life insurance carriers. They send it out, they get a quote from many carriers. They come back and say, hey, look, these are the offers we have for you. And without having to leave their website, you're then able to choose the one of your liking. And the process is seamless. Now you have life insurance at what would appear to be a competitive rate. But the devil's always in the details, because when we're sitting there looking at life insurance, it's easy enough for us to see the premium and say, okay, that's what we're getting is the premium. That's the amount that we're receiving. But there's other questions that we should be looking at. Exactly, what is it about this particular life insurance company that should give us pause or should give us a red flag? Are there exclusions? Are there are situations or moments that that life insurance policy isn't going to kick in, because ultimately what you need is for that life insurance policy to work, for it to do exactly what it said it's going to do. With Sprout, they're going to set you up with a company. They're going to make sure that you're taken care of in regards of the negotiation, the process of binding it. But ultimately, you have to do your due diligence. You have to do your homework and say, listen, is that company, is this policy, is this worth my time? Is this something I want to give trust and faith to? Now, what they do is they sort of block you in for a period of time. And then as time progresses, you're being billed. And as you age, eventually what will occur is that your rate will go up. Now that you're in, you're kind of in. But here's the thing. With life insurance in particular, I would always tell you to not wait, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it gets over time. And that's why Sprout is kind of trying to target you in that sweet spot when they can get you right in the door with a life insurance policy that will benefit you in the long term, which is, kudos to them. Additionally, what I like about Sprout is that they have something called a QLI, a Quality Life Index. Is one of those things that is pretty good as an idea, because it's asking you questions to get a sense as to what your habits are. Are you sleeping well? Are you exercising? Are you eating right? Are you meditating? Are you doing the things that you're supposed to be doing in order to make sure that you're living a healthy life? Even if they don't insure you, even if they don't give you insurance and provide you access to a carrier and a policy, they're still giving you some sort of benefit by asking you those important questions and making you, in a way, take stock of what your life and your decisions are. So in a way, I give them credit. I give them credit for having a slick user interface. I give them a ton of credit for coming up with an innovative business concept and idea, which is to grab the traditional producer relationship and actually turn it into something fast, seamless, take out some of that seediness, some of that shadiness. Because when we start thinking life insurance salesman, we start thinking about a lot of nefarious characters. In regards to doing that, phenomenal job. Big fan. Now, one other thing that I like about Sprout is that they have the right mindset. They're trying to identify people that are healthy, and if you're not healthy, then they're trying to guide you in the path of being healthy, because ultimately that's beneficial to them, because you might come back and be a customer unless you, of course, are too old for the preferred age range. Lastly, when we're talking about Sprout, we have to look at the cons. The cons is that by going to Sprout, you may very well only receive the carriers that it is negotiating with, that it is sort of tied to. There may be carriers out there that are not part of that network, that are not part of that system, that part of that conglomerate, whatever you want to call it, and you're not going to get access, or you're not going to get the benefit of seeing their rates. You're not going to get to interact with those carriers and their policies. You may very well also get a rate that you're not necessarily going to be comfortable with over time, because even though it may appear that life insurance is cheap, $20, $30 a month, $40 a month, over time that does add up. And if we're talking about the need for a medical exam in order to get a lower premium, then that's awesome. That makes life easier. And if you get a medical exam, you can also rest assured that they may very well stumble across something you're unaware of. So there's the benefit of that as well, that you're not necessarily getting with Sprout, but you're also getting the benefit of having a sort of setup that should make you feel comfortable, because it is a very good company, it is a very good user interface, and for that, I give them credit. Now, here's my question for you. Life insurance, super important, tax-free, other benefits, we'll look at it in another video. But I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to see exactly what happened in regards to you, in regards to life insurance, in regards to people that you knew that had life insurance, some things that they just didn't foresee. Those are the type of conversations I want to have. So make sure to share that stuff in the comments below. Additionally, I made some videos regarding dental insurance, car insurance, you name it, that may be beneficial to you. So go ahead, take a look at them. Let me know what you think. If there anything sort of that you don't know, feel free to ask the question. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, etc. Yada, yada. You know what it is. Like, gotta grow this channel one way or another. Thank you. Stay blessed.